Welcome everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. If you haven't already, go ahead, throw your name and your school in the chat. This one is going to be quick. I know you guys have been testing and everything at the end of the year, so we just wanted to kind of make sure you guys knew about Zoom Whiteboard. It can be super helpful sometimes and show you some of the things and features of it. So we're going to go ahead and jump in there. So a quick disclaimer, the Zoom whiteboard and annotation feature does not work on the Chromebook. So this is when you're hosting in your classroom from the desktop or if you're hosting from a personal computer. Hopefully Zoom will catch up on Chromebooks. They know that Chromebooks are a little bit behind even with some of the raise hand feature type things. So Whiteboard does not work on annotation and the whiteboard, but it does work desktop or personal computer. So the way you'll do Whiteboard is right now I'm just screen sharing a slide deck. So I wanted you to see like the steps of how to get to the whiteboard and then show you just some quick features that they have like the annotating on the whiteboard. So when you click share screen, like if you were sharing your slide deck, same way. So share screen at the bottom, you would click on that. But instead of clicking desktop or like your slide deck, what you would do is click right there on that whiteboard and then click share, and then it pops up a whiteboard. So essentially, instead of using your whiteboard in your classroom, now that some kids are remote or Zooming in, you could use this for your whiteboard instead. So it's okay if you had a slide deck up and then you're like, oh, let's wait and like maybe brainstorm some ideas, or you need to work out a math problem. You could jump over to this whiteboard and it still would be up on your smartboard in your classroom and just give you that white space. And you see some of the annotating features that are available there in the whiteboard. So these are your draw features from your lines. You can do the scribble lines. You can add shapes in there. You've got different stamps. So if or when it ever comes available on a Chromebook, the cool thing would be that when you're sharing a whiteboard, your kids could also annotate on that whiteboard at the same time as you. But again, that's not available at this time. So fingers crossed that Zoom will get that up to date on Chromebook so that you and your students could interact at the same time. But you do have some stamps things that you can add in there. You've got this spotlight feature, which I'm going to show you what it looks like, but essentially you could point at something or use your mouse kind of like, how the laser, like some teachers would point at the board with a laser and for your kids to follow. So those are some things that are available through Zoom Whiteboard. And then you can change your color, the line width, and the font. So that's all up there when you share. And then this could be, so sorry about my basic math problem, but as you're writing up on the board, I was using my trackpad. That's why it looks so scribbly there instead of me writing nice and neat on the board. So sorry about that, guys. You can kind of see you could work out something right. The little stars there are the stamps that I added. And then the arrow that you see is that highlight feature. And then this is your spotlight. So I'm going to stop sharing the slide deck and kind of pull up a whiteboard and kind of just show you that. But the reason I wanted to show you the quick slide deck is because, you can't see some of the Zoom controls as I'm walking through that. So let me back up and do that one more time. As people are joining. So quick disclaimer again, I'm just going to run through this real quick for people joining. Hey, everyone, make sure you sign in the chat. This is not available, Zoom Whiteboard, not available on a Chromebook, so it will have to be hosted. Zoom is hosted from your desktop or a personal computer, and then when you're sharing your screen, instead of clicking desktop, you're going to come over here and click on Whiteboard, and then it will share a blank board where you can add text or drawings. You can add some stamps or spotlight some things and change that formatting. So we went through that real quick. That's kind of what those options look like. So I am going to stop sharing now, and I'm going to pull up a whiteboard real quick. So I'm going to get back to Zoom. So I'm clicking share screen. Instead of clicking on one of my million of screens up, I'm going to do whiteboard and click share. So now you guys see that whiteboard there. And I can, add text. If you're sitting at your desktop and you're wanting it to be neat, you can. If you were at your whiteboard up at the front of your screen, you can click on draw and write a question out there. You can work out a math problem. 5. So again, it would be a lot neater if you're writing on your whiteboard. I'm just using a trackpad right now. Right, and then if you wanted to have them that's your stamp feature. And then here's your spotlight. So I can say like, what do you guys, oops, let me make sure I click my spotlight. What do you guys think about that? So you're kind of drawing attention, and every time you do a new spotlight, it points to, so make sure you add this in your notes. And what do you think about this right here? It kind of draws their attention to, or you can do a spotlight, like the laser pointer that you used to have. So the whiteboard, it's a really short PD today. It was just a quick tutorial on that. That kind of wraps it up because it isn't available on Chromebooks at this time. So if that was available, we'll add onto that when Zoom adds that. And what that would do is allow you to have a whiteboard space that you and your students can annotate on at the same time. So hopefully they'll get that together and we can add onto this, but this is just basic. When you click share screen, select whiteboard, and instead of using your whiteboard at the front of the classroom, you can use this as your whiteboard and your kids at home can see, as well as your kids in class. So that wraps up that whiteboard training. So I know that was quick and easy. I'm sure you won't be too mad at me on a Friday for getting you in and out real quick. That's it. It's that easy, guys. Any questions on that?
Thank you, Miss Shonda.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, you do the same.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. And make sure you sign in if you haven't. Sign in the chat.